Hello, I'm Laura Ludwig, and you're listening to A-Space.
Hello there, and welcome to the A-Space brand new podcast brought to you by the CEV, a podcast where we are being joined by some of the biggest names in world volleyball. My name is Louis Lett, and I will be today's host. On other occasions, we have got the great Dave Rogers, and we've also been joined by our producers and superstars from the CEV, Matt Rogers and Daniel Meanley. Today, Dan, you're with us. How are you doing, mate? How's Luxembourg in lockdown?
Great, Louis. Nice sunny day out today. Feeling great. How are you?
Yeah, life's good. I've just been too much running, which is an art I'm trying to get better at, and it's pretty tough. But you missed our opening episode, and it was amazing. But I'm still getting over it here, and I think it's time that we should reintroduce our guest. Welcome back to our Olympic gold medalist, world champion with over 12 individual awards on the world tour. I decided not to list them individually today. Laura Ludwig, how are you doing?
Hello. Good, thank you. I'm really good. Also, after running, I definitely feel good. Now the weekend can start.
Oh, what does the weekend look like for you? It's obviously Saturday.
Actually, this weekend is really relaxed. We have nothing planned, and we sleep a lot, eat a lot, play a lot, and just go out when the sun comes out. And and probably one or two friends will come over for a barbecue, but nothing special.
Oh, you're allowed to have barbecues? We haven't quite hit that stage.
Yeah, it is actually on the balcony, and we have like two, how do you say, households can come together, so it's fine when a friend is coming over, and it's two friends. But
you're allowed a friend, aren't you? Sport is starting as well this weekend in Germany.
Actually, also in our beach center, they are starting with the amateur sport. They can come and play. And on, I think it was yesterday, I saw the courts were full again. It was crazy. I mean, still rules and still distance, but it looked alive again.
It's amazing. We're not quite there yet.
As long as you don't have to play volleyball in a mask.
No, oh my gosh, this is not possible. Sport, like general sport, is not possible in a mask, I think. How's it in Luxembourg? Is it also still like really locked down?
I think we're similar with you. You can have barbecues, you can have a few friends over. So we're getting there.
Nice. England is always a little bit behind her.
Sorry, Louis. Sorry.
I can't really. I don't think this is the right place to air any politic.
True. We don't want to start. I don't want to.
But I feel like we're behind for sure. That's a very fair comment. Just so you guys listening, wherever you are in Europe or the world, these episodes are being recorded remotely. So, due to the current situation, we are on Zoom and we are in different places: Germany, Luxembourg, and the UK. And these episodes are going to be released alternately with our unscripted and debate series. Today, Laura, is all about becoming a mother and returning to the top of the game, which I'm really interested in because, I have no experience in either of those two, and nor does Dan. So we're all about.
Yes, it's always interesting to talk with men about it.
Is interesting the right word, or maybe uninspiring?
Maybe I just want to tease you, and then it's getting right.
So, first question: How is Theo?
Good. He's actually Morph, my husband, almost husband. He brought just Theo to bed because this is sleepy time. It's and all in all, he loves having Mama and Papa all day long at home and playing around. Sometimes he's getting annoyed of us and we get annoyed of him, but this is a little time and the rest we really enjoy the family time together. It's definitely a present right now, the time.
Yeah, it must be after the year, last year was so busy for you. There must be some real positives about being at home and being able to have that time.
Yes, definitely. I mean, every family can say this when there's a little bit time off and not only holiday. In general, you have a little bit less to do and you can spend time a little bit more with your family. Then it's always a big present. But like like everybody is saying now, also after 2 months now, it's fine to have also a little bit separate lives again and doing something different. But yeah, I don't want to be angry about it. I really enjoy the time.
Gonna have some genes.
Yeah, we'll see.
Gonna be an athletic boy, Theo.
I mean, like, I don't know if he's going to be an athlete. Right now, he's just eating a lot because he loves eating. I don't know if it's, I think this is more after me, but he has a definitely nice mix out of our hair. That's already really cool. About the rest we will see, but I like this already, the part of this, of the hair, of the mix of our genes. Yeah, we'll see what comes, but it's really interesting. Like sometimes I get caught in my thinking, like, oh my gosh, I want to know how he is when he's like this age, and then I'm like, Laura, come down, enjoy this time now. It will be over in like a second, and so it's sometimes really difficult to step back and just enjoy the moment.
Yeah, for sure. It's a really nice thing to hear, actually. Just he's a very, very cute kid. Very, very cute kid.
Thanks. It's a nice compliment. I mean, probably every mother or father is saying this from their kids. This is the cutest, but Theo's the cutest.
I wouldn't say if it wasn't true.
Yeah, good.
How old is he right now?
He's turning 2 years in a month. So big birthday party, not.
Nice.
But he knows already what present is. So what a gift. So will be fun to see when there's some presents from grandparents, from us, and from friends, and then he's just like, presents. So it's cool when they get to know some things where we really can see the reaction of it. It's really cool.
Smart kid.
But first is present, and then it's chocolate. So because it was like an Easter, he got a lot of Easter eggs. Obviously, he was searching them, and he was really good at it. I mean, it was easy. The hiding was easy, but always when he got one, it was like chocolate, open. He was crazy after chocolate. That's also after his mom.
Yeah, I was going to say, he gets that after his mom, right? Yeah, for sure. What do you find, like, obviously not a parent, what do you find most challenging about being a parent? What's the...
I think what I really underestimate before was that actually a baby or a kid is kind of a 24/7 kind of job. It's like all the attention is always on the kid, or at least it was for me or for us, and it's definitely a big change. You always have to think about the kid, and for sure there are always other worries. There's a big responsibility before you just have your own responsibility for yourself, and now there's a little creature which you have to look after. And before I was thinking, really, it's just, okay, especially in the beginning, it's just sleeping and eating and then lying there somewhere. But no, it wasn't. It was the first 3 months were the hardest in the whole life.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's crazy. Before I was never, ever thinking like this, but I have respect for every parent, especially for my parents as well, definitely. And it's a big thing, actually, getting kids. It's cool.
What's the most enjoyable thing?
Oh, seeing every day the things he's learning and enjoying and improving in every little things he's doing, trying to do everything by his own, learning so fast. This is just incredible how fast the time is flying as well. I mean, also now the second year, we have the feeling it's way faster than the first year because he's learning every day and he's getting bigger and bigger and more, more, how do you say, adult-like want to do everything by his own and trying to do like this big boss here. And that's really cool to see, and it's enjoyable when he gets his own character and personality.
I can imagine. How often do you take him on tour with you? That was the balance to competitions.
Yeah, actually it was almost every tournament in Europe. That was also the plan, but we didn't want to take him overseas in the beginning. That would also, like, it is nice to have him on tour or also in a training camp, but it's also a different, it's really exhausting as well, because I want to also, or we want to be with him also, but also practicing 100%. So it was sometimes really tiring. And also the travel and everything in the beginning is always a little bit more nervous, or I was definitely always a little bit more intense. Like before you just traveled, you had your headphone, listened to something, and then you were just by your own. Nobody could call you, nobody was disturbing you, and you had your time for yourself. Now you had to look after a kid while traveling, so I was always tired after a flight. So yeah, we tried to have a balance between having him with us but also having him home with my parents. So I think that was quite cool to have this both options. Yeah.
It must be so different having played for as long as you have without obviously having Theo, to then having him with you. Like it must be such a different sort of routine.
A little bit different, but I tried to have my same routine. We always had my mom or Morph's mom with us, so they were looking really good after Theo. They love looking after Theo. They probably also love more to have him by himself. So it's always hard to get to him when they are there. my grandmas are always the favorites as well. So it was.
That's because he can do no wrong.
Exactly. It's always yes, Theo. Yes, Theo. Yes, Theo. But it's also really cute to see. But they did a really good job so that we can do our job really good in the routines. And when we had our game done, then we always spent time together. I was almost never with other players or having dinner somewhere, because I was always with the family then. That was also cool. But it was also nice to see him sometimes after a game. I mean, obviously he, like last season, he wasn't old enough that he could understand what we are actually doing there. But seeing him after a game was always like a really like a release or some. I mean, I still when we lost and I saw him, it still kind of sucked and I was frustrated. But it was a little bit easier, because he was showing me the sunshine again, kind of. I remember one game. It was really nice in Vienna. And I didn't know that my mom is coming to the game. It was in the evening, and it was a last qualification match against Greece, and it was an on and off match, like 3 sets and really tight. And in the end, we won, and we were sitting there as a team, just the 3 of us, Maggie, Morph, and me. And then the sun was going down, and then I saw Mom and Theo coming and seeing or like waving, and I was just like, we're in the main draw, and my boy is here, and I'm just the happiest person in life. So that was really cool. Or there were more moments like this. Yeah.
Just like that feeling of fulfillment, like that.
Yes, totally, like a scene in the end of a movie, in a horror movie of a game.
But that's sort of like shooting for simplicity, like the real simple things that just
yes,
which is maybe, I don't know, definitely not a parent, but no. I can imagine that's
that's how you say it, like the small things count again. So you really get to see the little things in life again.
Did you miss beach volleyball when you were away, or you said you were busy, but like was it like, were you ready for that break as well?
Yes, I think I was ready, because the years before were really intense with the team before. Was so much fun and success, but also like hard work, and so I was kind of ready to have a little bit off of beach volleyball and a break, and but I was still practicing, and I still enjoyed practice, not every day, but some of the days I really enjoyed to move, especially with the big belly, and so you felt like you do something. But all in all, I was really released that I could see more friends, see family, going to birthday parties or wedding, or like doing normal stuff on weekends when you're just at home and you can plan after your life and not after beach volleyball. So I really enjoyed the pregnancy.
I played. We're probably happy to see you.
What? Oh, yeah.
Friends will probably have, they're like, oh, Laura's
Yes.
here. Finally.
Yeah. What are you doing here? You have time?
I played some of my best games with a belly anyway.
I never saw a belly on you. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, no, that I'm trying to get rid of it. When I watch you play, like obviously it's my job now to come up with some thoughts, but I just see that you love it. Like
Yes.
there must be times where you have enough of it, but like you to me just look like that's you out there. Like you are
Yeah.
completely living. You're
Yeah.
doing what you should be doing, and you're loving competing, and you're loving playing. Is that correct? Like
Definitely. Yeah. That's what you see correct. You're a really good observer.
I watch everyone play, and
Yeah.
I'm just like you love
Yeah.
it.
I mean, it's probably everybody loves it. I can imagine, but sometimes it's I don't know. It's the best thing is on court when you can be authentic and then you can play at your best. And I struggle sometimes also to get there, but normally I really love this. Not all in all, it's my passion. It's but also my job. Sometimes definitely I'm also frustrated. But all in all, I can't imagine a life without beach volleyball. For sure not. No.
Did you feel like throughout like this period would be with Kira? Was that ever a plan? Was like after the Olympics when you went to have Tio, was there any discussions? Obviously injuries were such a big part of Kira and her stepping away. But did you think when you came back initially after having a child that you'd play with Kira?
Yeah, for sure. That was 100% the plan. Like we were, after 2017, after the season, we were sitting together and I said straight away, wanted to talk about how everybody is going and what the plan is for the next month or a year. And I definitely said straight away, okay, I want to make family and I'm definitely out. But after that, I want to come back and play with Kira or keep going. And that was really straightforward and also with the planning. So I think for Kira and her body, that was also perfect to look a little bit without pressure, just on herself and enjoy a little bit different beach volleyball with somebody else and not always me as a boss with me. And so it was probably also for both sides, I think an enjoyable time.
Well, how did you feel when she decided to retire?
I think like we started practicing again in 2018 in the end, and it still felt like she had to do a lot with her body, and it felt still like she was struggling. So like that, it's really hard to come to practice because her body was always hurting. And there was one evening when she wanted to come to me and talk, and then I had a feeling already that she it is a serious talk, and I had the feeling I didn't do something wrong, so it must have something with the decision of playing further or not. So I kind of knew already a little bit what she wanted to talk about. So it was because I knew why and that she was really struggling with her body, and it really looked always like really hard time for her in practice because of her body, that I could definitely understand her straight away, 100%. And I think it was also a right decision to for her body and her life to relax and look after her body. And and then in the second moment I was a little bit like, oh, and now what's going? I had a different plan, or we had a different plan, but there's kind of always a solution after a little bit of time and thinking, talking to a lot of people, what I can do or who I should maybe call, or what I expect from playing further, or being with somebody else and having another team.
Yeah, did you ever think when Kira, like you had that discussion that, okay, if it's not with Kira, I don't want to do it anymore? Was that ever a thought?
No, I was so because the before I had the break, I felt so strong in what I did. Like really, I loved playing, I loved winning, and I wanted to have it again. So that was really strong in my heart that I didn't want to stop at that time, not at all, because I wanted to see if I still can do it. And And yeah, I mean, it was always like without beach volleyball, I still couldn't imagine, having or have, to stop with beach volleyball, because I saw the potential in 2016 and 17, what we can do, what I can do, and I saw still that I can improve, especially in some things even. Yeah.
That's a tough call to make after you win after you win an Olympical.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, it's like the Olympics actually were pretty much perfect from how we played, but like also the season 2016, I mean, that was amazing, but I always had, no, not always, but I always had the feeling that I could improve also in the way I play, the way I am with a partner or in a team, like also the mental side and the athletic side. Also in the technique side, actually, there's so much to improve and so much to do better. And we always have the role models, the men's. I mean, the men's are playing always faster, more dynamic and harder. And maybe we come there one day. Not.
So in the 2016 season, you played you played a tournament in Toronto, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's my hometown. So.
Oh, really? It's a really nice city. That was the first time I ever have been there, and it's really nice. Also from the people, I really like the surrounding and the atmosphere there. Also, they were crazy after beach volleyball.
Yeah. When we do get volleyball, because beach volleyball, we don't get big tournaments there very often. So when it does happen, it's really exciting.
It was really cool. It was the more than the final. The excitement was about the country quota, about the Canada teams, because they had to play against each other, which team is in the tournament.
Yeah.
And like lots of people were there and wanted to see that. There was more or more interesting probably than the tournament for the Canadians.
Yeah. I love the country quota. Like.
Yeah, when you watch, then you probably love it more than when you play.
It's awesome spectacle. I just love it when like Ricardo rocks up and he's playing country quota. Or something
crazy.
Like that. Like, it's
also like with Kerry last year, it's just crazy. Really. I mean, yeah, it's a different topic, but it has some good bits and it has some really bad bits.
Cool. How did it feel starting again with new partner? Theo, like everything is the same, but everything is quite different.
Yeah.
It
was more exhausting than I thought. Like really, also coming back after the pregnancy, it felt it was still quick, but for myself, I didn't have the patience. We had the patience already last time we talked with each other. There's always my big thing that I need always to work on my patience. And like sometimes I got really fast frustrated that my body didn't do what I wanted, like because I had the feeling my middle of my body was still not there or was not connecting my arms and my legs, and that was a little bit hard with the technique sometimes or with the athletic or that is definitely that I think with 10, 11, 12 months after having Theo, there was the first time where I thought like, oh, now it starts to connect. So it was a long time, yeah. But all in all, it was also a cool challenge, actually, I have to say. Like after 2016 and 17, having or like winning a lot, and now starting from kind of new again, and with the kind of different body as well. I mean, the body did something what it didn't do before. So, and it had to come back and remember all the things from before. So that was really a challenge. And cool to go through it and not giving up, and also with the new team, it is like having this kind of success and also in your head and in your soul, going out and then coming back and fighting from kind of zero again, back to trying to go to top again. That was a lot with my patience and frustration level, because in the beginning I was a little bit like on here, I feel actually like here, but I couldn't, like I felt really like in 2017, but I wasn't there again. I lived really from my head, from my soul, I had to go back, a step back. And that was really hard for me, I have to say.
Yeah, I think we're got some questions here that's around those sorts of challenges where it must have been tough, but then it makes it much sweeter at the end of the season to have
definitely
those moments, right? why? So you get to that point. I think we all know why Maggie, you know, like, but what was the thoughts for you at that time when you had that choice? Did you look at just someone with this massive ceiling that could progress very quickly?
Yes, like with Maggie, I saw definitely big potential because she's like, yeah, she was fresh in beach volleyball and played only for 2 years. And before, she was a big indoor player. And it is, I have to say, it's still a big difference between indoor beach volleyball. And I saw that she want to do it. She has a passion in it and she wants to learn. And we knew each other from before as well. We were friends since we were 14 years old. We didn't have so much contact actually in the end because like both had their own life. Me with a beach volleyball life and she was indoor volleyball life. There was always like around the world everywhere. But it was nice actually to have her on my side and going through this together now and learning from each other. Also actually get to know each other in a different way, not only as friends and just chatting with each other, being really professional and trying to work something out and going through hard times as well.
You don't win the Champions League unless you have a certain set of characteristics, though, right?
Yes, definitely. I mean, there's something in you that that is making you strong and passionful.
Yeah. How like what was the expectations for 2019? Like, did you set any? Was it very much let's see how it goes? Was it no, we want to go straight in? Like
I mean, we knew it is the qualification straight away. So we knew it's going to be hard from the beginning on. We didn't have so much points. We knew we had to play from the beginning on, like really with high quality. And I think we put us under pressure a lot from the beginning on. And I think, the frustration level was, not really high. So I think that stood a little bit in our way. And we had to find through this time where we lost a lot, what we can change or how we actually, loosen up a little bit, relax and just play. So we forgot a lot about what we actually practiced. And that was definitely our fail in the beginning. But we went through it and changed a little bit of mentality on court. And try to get our lions out and our aggressiveness and go against the opponent and not against us because we can't do it. So that was a really big change in the end and it felt really good.
Yeah, you just answered like 3 questions in one hit. Like, I'm sat here with a list of questions going like,
sorry.
I was like, she nailed that
just
one.
Know you.
that one's nailed. Like that one's good. Yeah, I just want to touch on like how does it feel? Like it's probably we're obviously celebrating so much, but I'm curious to like you that sort of 25th, like getting a 25th
was hard. I mean, the first tournament in Xiamen, was it, in China? That was okay because I was still really sad after those 2 games, but there were like a lot of good stuff in it, really good things. But I was really, really sad and I wanted to practice more after and harder. But that I think was like after those 2 games, I should have been a little bit more relaxed and not being too hard on us. And that's why we became like more intense and not being too loose on the court. So that was a pity that we actually missed the beginning then.
Yeah, I mean, like hindsight's a wonderful thing, right? Like looking back and saying, I wish we were like this. But at the same time, you're quite right within your expectation of it's that same mind that got you to be an Olympic champion. So Olympia,
but I have the gold medal, but I was definitely different.
We've already talked a lot about Tio. Is it difficult being in China, and is it difficult being away? Does that make a difference at times when you're about playing and you're missing Tio?
Because he was so young, it was still okay. I mean, we probably definitely had more problems with it. Tio didn't really felt that we were gonna have a feeling sometimes, because Oma was there, grandmother was the favorite, so it didn't matter if we were there. But the first time we went like for a camp in Cape Town, and that was the first time I don't see him for 2 weeks, and that was really, really hard. I think when my parents picked him up, and I think I was crying for half an hour. I really couldn't get my breath back. I was crying so much, and but then after it felt okay. It was always as it always had two sides of the medal, because it was like on one hand we were missing him a lot, and couldn't see him growing, but it was only 2 weeks. But on the other hand, we had time for ourselves. Like I really could focus on beach volleyball, could focus on regeneration in between. And it was easy to FaceTime in between. My parents were always on their phone. Always when we called, they picked up and showed us our little boy. And in the beginning, he was like looking in the camera because it was interesting, but after that he was gone and playing somewhere else. So but it was nice to see him and watching him. My mom was always following him with the phone to show us what he's doing, so it was interesting to be like this again as well. But all in all, it was both sides, like sad but also really cool to have our own time.
Probably watching Paw Patrol again.
That came later. But actually, Paw Patrol, he's not a really big fan of Paw Patrol. He's more about, like, do you know the movie Shrek?
Yeah.
The green monster? He loves it. I love it as well. And I'm always, when he's like, oh, I want to watch Shrek. And I'm like, yeah, okay, let's watch Shrek. Which movie? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Okay, all 4.
It's a Scottish accent.
It's true. I never recognized before. He was speaking Scottish, and then suddenly I was like, "Is he speaking Scottish?"
Has a Scottish father. It's perfect.
Yeah.
That's ideal.
Probably that's why.
Yeah, there you go. Like, yeah, I love it. How is it with you came back and you were working with Jörg, is that correct? And Morph as well. It was.
No, the first, Morph was a little bit more involved then, because Helga, our other coach, she got a baby as well, and so she took her time off, which we totally could understand. But he was first only a little bit involved, and in winter in the preparation, and it was really cool to see also some stuff he did. But his priority was always on Binek Schneider and the young team, so it wasn't that much time. But it was kind of cool to have also a little bit other input. And then the middle of the season, or kind of the end of the season, Jürgen decided to go out of the team because he was too far away. He was not in the same city, and it was really difficult to travel with us and be with us the whole time. And we are women, we need a lot of attention, so that was not enough.
Not my girlfriend anyway.
But so then it was the decision to have actually more involved and as a head coach. And with Helge, she came back from her baby break, and those as a team, they did really good work and taking us as a team and going through the end of the season with us. And in the end, we also had our success. So that was really, nice to have somebody who gave new input, and maybe that also kind of worked a little bit to have a breakthrough through our head, because we were really tight. And I'm really happy that it worked. And until we also didn't have a divorce or we didn't break up, we still are happy in our family life. So it works.
Yeah, like how does it work? Is it because it's obviously so much change, and then there's another change as well, and
another change.
I mean, I can't even give my girlfriend's never played volleyball, but I could never tell her how to play it. Like I could never give her a coaching. Like she wouldn't.
I think we also could never play together, for example, just for fun. Me and Morph, we would probably really break up after. But getting the input from Morph is really cool and nice, because I'm really I'm really impressed. Like I knew he was a good coach, but seeing actually more insight and what he's talking about and what his ideas are. I'm really impressed. So, and otherwise I wouldn't have done it. Like otherwise it's always hard. I mean, there is some couples on tour with trainers and players, but you could always hear it's difficult, and also the especially for the relationship for the couple as well, but also for the team then. I mean, for the partner from the like for Maggie, it is definitely also a different situation. But I wouldn't have done it when I wouldn't be behind it, like really know that it's quality and professional, and I want to win. I always want to win, and I wouldn't do it when I don't know if we would win with this team. Yeah.
All right, Louis, I think we have time for maybe one more question before we do our special segments for this episode. So I don't know if you have one more in the bank you want to.
Well, yeah. How was Rome? Like, it was a great question to finish with. Like, yes. Rome, for me, it was my favorite point of the season. Like,
nice.
Comment on that. So it was amazing to broadcast. So I don't know how it was to actually be the person just absolutely killing it out there.
Yeah, I'm with you. That was definitely my favorite moment of this season of last year, and it was just special. Like, we didn't have a really good start in the tournament. We lost against our German opponents, Carla and Juli, like in the German championship before in the final. And that was already like, and we were tired, and it's the end of the season, but we have to go for a good result, otherwise it's going to be really hard with the qualification. So it was a lot of thoughts in our head. And then I think we just had, I don't know, we were a little bit like, we were talking, and then we were like, oh, just fuck it, can I say that? Just relax, let it go, and just play. And don't think too much about anything, just go for it, be aggressive, and fight through it. Doesn't matter what mistake we're doing. And yeah, we went on court for the second match, and it was difficult, but we won against the young Russians. And then from game to game, it started to happen more, that we were more released and just play at our best. And kept going and going and going, and then suddenly we were in the final, and we really couldn't believe it. And Theo was there as well, with Mov's mom, and then Maggie had her family there as well. Her parents were there, and also in the last day her boyfriend came. So it was really like a nice end of the season, that everybody was there watching us, seeing us, supporting us. And actually we could also celebrate all together, because it was really without this tournament, I don't know even if we could make this the qualification for Tokyo 21 now. That would have been really difficult. And now there's a good chance, and without, like, also with Rome, it made it definitely easier to go to holiday, to have your free time, relax, and really don't bother about it, and or don't think too much about it. Yeah.
I didn't see you in Chetumal. I didn't see you out in Mexico.
No. No, and so that's why, and also going easier and more released into the preparation, and just focus on whatever we want to go, look forward.
Yeah, it must be the confidence and the change in mindset, or the
definitely.
This must be the perfect ending to that season to kick you forward.
It was.
It was brilliant. I have one more. Sorry, Dan. I have one more quick question. Talk us through that block. My God, what was this? Unbelievable. You just charge in, you take everything into your own hands, and you make a read, and there you go, game over.
Yeah, I don't know. We changed before, because we couldn't really get the Swiss team under control with our block and block defense, and we weren't at our best. And then in the end, I thought they were in front, and then I thought, let's just switch and have a look. Maybe they're thinking about it. So, and then the first ball, I think the first ball was even poke, which Maggie got, and then put it away. So we were 20-20, and then suddenly the block came. I don't know how, but I was just watching her, and I thought, just get up as big as you can, and somehow she will hit you. And yeah, and then it happened. And I tried to be really calm and focus on the end of the sentence, but inner me, I was like, oh my gosh, I did a block.
There's that highlight from Hamburg that just goes round and round of you making like 4 digs against Brazil and putting the ball away. And that's cool. That gets a lot of shares, but this was my favorite one for you.
Yeah.
Speaking of defense, though, Laura, you're like one of the best readers of the game I think I've seen. Like, you almost seem to know where the ball's going, where the attacker's going. So we have the last feature for this episode called Rips and Tips, where we're wondering if you had any advice for any listeners, aspiring beach volleyball players, about defense and how to read the game.
Whew, there's like it's difficult to just answer here like quick, but all in all, I think it's also good to know definitely your opponent. It's not always easy to not knowing your opponent, but I think it's to stay relaxed, even if you don't get balls in the beginning, to stay relaxed and really watch your opponent, what they're doing, what they like to do. And like, even if the first set doesn't work, it always can work in the second or in the third set, because you get to know the player, you get to know in which mood they are, how strong or dynamic they're moving in this game, because like obviously not everybody is every day really dynamic or quick or has always the answer. There's always a mistake from a player. So you always have to have the patience, and especially for defense, I think it's sometimes really important to just go for 1 or 2 balls, like in one rally, to only go for 1 or 2, like pick those 2 balls and go only for those 2, and the rest leave it to the block, or leave to for when they do the point, then they do the point. It doesn't matter. And I think I also really needed to learn about this, like leaving some balls away. Don't want to get everything, because when you want to get everything, you don't get anything, because you're just in the middle of the court, and you feel like a stone. So, but sometimes it helps to just maybe even go for this one important ball, what they always do in maybe different situations. I don't know, but. Yeah, or prepare with some movements before, with some maybe fakes. Only go for this one then, like especially when you're maybe a defender in the diagonal, and then you go to line, but you actually only go for diagonal, leave everything else. So sometimes this is really helpful. But also when really be relaxed in the backcourt and be light, and also when sometimes I'm getting too quick and try to read too quick, and I'm already on my way, even although the attacker didn't approach, because I thought like, oh my gosh, I need really to get this. But then being more relaxed and wait, because sometimes there's just a poke or an easy ball coming in the court, and you still can run when you didn't move to another side, one side. So there's lots of things you can do. Actually, it's hard to talk about all those.
I know, you're like, it's hard to think of something, and then you listed like all this great advice.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing I'll remember from that, if you try and go for everything, you won't get anything. Yes, I think that's especially for players coming from indoor volleyball, that's a really, good.
Yeah.
Well, Laura Ludwig, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to say thank you again on behalf of the whole volleyball community, because not only are you doing this for us and the CEV, but I think everyone's going to get so much from listening to this, and you're gonna influence the sport and inspire so many people. So thank you for coming on and giving up your weekend again.
Yeah, but thank you. It was a pleasure. It was always nice talking to you. Thanks a lot.
Danny, thank you for being here, bud. I hope you had fun.
Oh, always have fun on these podcasts, Louis. Thanks for having me.
And to our listeners, thank you very much for being part of this and helping it grow. Make sure that you subscribe. Obviously, let your friends know, tell your mates. And you can also suggest guests for us to get onto the show. Whether they can compare with this week's guest, I have no idea if we can actually top Laura Ludwig being on the show. But you can even send us some questions. Use the hashtag #LetVolleyballTalk. Finally, for myself, Louis, Let, the A-Space, and the CEV, thank you for listening, and we look forward to having you along next time. you.